Good afternoon, everybody. Just making sure. Test, test, test. One, two, three. All right, everything sounds good. Let's go back to our day three, part three of Asteroids, the game that we're recreating from the 1979 Atari. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and do some asteroids. We're going to add some asteroids to our game scene. Um, what I did, I went and grabbed some from the Unity store. You have some available to you that I gave to y'all. The store that I went to was the 2D Space Kit. Okay, that's where I got my asteroids from. So it came with a lot of stuff. You got missiles, debris, some backgrounds. Some of you were asking about my background. I got some backgrounds out of there already. Some nebulas. So this is not a bad little kit. Just give you some heads up. That I liked it very much. So I'm going to go ahead and use it under my special stuff. It is my 2D Space Kit. Comes with asteroids also. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look in here. Some of these asteroids look pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and enlarge them a little bit. I'm going to go three. I'm going to throw three asteroids in here. I'm probably going to go with 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to go with this size, and I'm going to resize it to a scale of 3 across the board. 3, 3, 3. Okay, that's a good size for a large asteroid. So I'm going to go ahead and rename that one uh, Asteroid Large. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick number 4. Number 4, I'm going to make it 2, 2, and 2. So 2, 2, and 2 for my scale. That looks almost the same size as the large. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to maybe 1.5, 1.5, tab 1.5, tab 1.5. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, I might go a little bit larger on this one. 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, and 3. Oh, tab 3.5. Okay, so we're gonna go with that. That looks better. This one actually looks like a medium asteroid, so I'm gonna rename this one Asteroid Medium. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab a small one, which will probably be. Let me see what this one looks like. That looks good right there. That is a good small one. Okay. So that'll be my small, and it's already scaled down to 1, so we'll leave it alone. All right. We just got to rename it small. All right. So there's my asteroids. Nice bright white. The reason I didn't get the other ones that I wanted, um, they already have a rotation. Let me see if I can find them under this asteroid pack. So these right here, they look sharp, but they look very dark. I can't even tell, you know. So that's why I didn't even grab them. And they already have a script on them, and I didn't want to mess with that. I didn't want to confuse you guys. So I went ahead and didn't go with that. But yeah, these look fine. We're gonna add our own rotation to this, and we're gonna make them spin around and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so don't worry about that. All right, so I went ahead, paused the video real quick, and I was messing with the colors. So I kind of colored mine a little bit to look more natural. I left the small one alone, and I played with the large and the medium. Okay, uh, for right now, let's go ahead and make these all prefabs. And let me go to my prefab folder. Okay, I'm gonna throw these in there. Uh, as a matter of fact, you know what? Just throw the small and the medium in there. Okay. But you know what? You can throw the large too. That's fine. That's fine. Um, and let's go ahead and delete this. Let's go ahead and take care of that. And we'll be playing with the large for right now. The large one right now needs a rigid body so we can move it. So let's go ahead and add a component. And let's add a physics 2D, and we're going to go with a rigid body. Get rid of the gravity scale. Like always, that should always be your first priority. And we're also going to need a collider. So let's go ahead and go back in there. And let's go ahead and throw a collider in there. So we don't need this. And that's under physics 2D again. So what kind of collider can we use? We can probably use a circle collider, but this does have some edges. So we can go with a polygon, okay, because it does have some edges, and we're going to go ahead and do that. So a polygon collider, all right. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, since we got our large asteroid, we want the asteroid to be rotating and spinning in space. So we're going to go ahead and create a script. So let's go to assets, let's go to script, and we're going to go ahead and create a new script, and I'm going to call this one Asteroid script. Asteroid script, okay? So that way I know what this is. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. A few things that I'm going to put in the public class first in order for us to get this going. This is one method of making objects spin, okay? And I'm doing this randomly, so let's go up here, hit enter a few times. Public float is the first one, and this is going to be max thrust. Max thrust. Then we're going to create another public float. This is going to be a max torque. So thrust is pushing and torque is spinning. Max torque. And then we need to ensure that the rigid body is also included in there. We need those numbers, so that'll be a rigid body 2D. And this is going to be just named RB. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and do that in the void start area. Void start, folks. Make sure you get there. And in there, let's add a little comment. We're going to add a random. Okay, I want this to be random and I don't want this to be set, because every time we play, I want to be able to change the spinning and the direction that it goes. Okay, so it's going to be a random amount of torque and thrust. Okay. And let's see, we're going to start in a vector 2 area, so it's vector 2, and this one's going to be our thrust. I'm not able to spell today. And that's going to equal, okay, new vector 2. And we're going to put a formula in here in order for it to be able to random dot range is what we're going to use. And inside there, we're going to create some more parentheses. So I want to go at a max thrust. Okay. And then we're also, so this is the X, okay, but we also want to include the Y because it's vector 2, so we got to add something here. And that's comma, and then we just pretty much copy this again, okay? So that's what I'm just going to do. I'm just going to copy, oh, not the whole thing, just this part right here. No, the whole thing. I'm sorry. My bad. Control C, and then go right there behind the comma. Control V, forgot the R. All right, so that's going to take care of the thrusting, the pushing of the object, okay? Now we need to work on the torque. So float torque equals random dot range, and this is going to be also almost the same way, where it's going to be max torque instead. Okay. All right, so I got that taken care of. I also need to utilize thrust and torque, and I'm going to do that with the RB dot add add force. There it is, add force, and I'm going to include the thrust in that. Okay, close that out. Now I'm going to RB that also, and I'm going to use the torque. So dot add force. Oh, what happened there? Add force, and this one's going to be torque. Okay. So what should happen is it's going to create me a random number that I'm going to need. Okay. Did I misspell something here? What's going on? RB add force. Torque. Why is torque? Did I misspell torque? No, it looks right. Oh, not force. I'm sorry, folks. Add torque. Duh. Making rookie mistakes here. Okay, so there it is right there. Add torque equals torque. All right. Hit save. Add that to my asteroid large, and my asteroid large should spin after I add some numbers. I'll get back to you in just 1 second. All right, so we're going to add the asteroid script to my large asteroid, and there's a max thrust and max torque that I was talking to you about. We're going to go ahead and input the number 100 for right now on both of them just to see what it looks like. RB, obviously we're going to grab this RB and drag it here and put it in there. So now it should be good to go. So what I'm going to check now is check the rotation and see what happens. All right, it's rotating very slowly. Okay, got it. That should be random. So now it should go a different direction. Okay, okay, it's spinning a little faster. Got it. Let's try that again. All right, big, slow, lumbering. All right. Okay, looks good so far. So we're going to go ahead and pause here real quick. Okay, so we know that our asteroid rotates. Let's take a look at it one more time. So you can also play with the spin if you want. I'm going to try that. And hit play, and you're going to see that it'll spin a little bit faster. This has been taking quite a while every time. Not sure what's happening there. All right, so it's spinning a little bit better. I like 500. Okay, 500 is pretty good. And again, it's random. Okay, so it might not be exactly 500. It might be 200. It might be 300. It might be 400. So here's maybe a little bit faster right there. Okay, see what I'm saying? All right, so 500 is not too bad. I'm going to go ahead and increase this to 200 myself. That way they move across the screen a little bit faster. So I'm increasing my max range. or my max thrust, I should say. There we go. Look at that. That looks nice. All right. Oh, so now we see what happens. So now we need to go ahead and do the screen wrapping portion. And we wrote ourselves a little different screen wrapping with the player one. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing that we used on player one. So we're going to go ahead and grab our public class. So I'm in player one right now. So I want to go ahead and copy this. I want to go to my Asteroid script and add that in there. Okay. And there it is. So the next thing I need to do is grab my void update. I already wrote the script for it, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab it from here. And that's all the way from vector 2. Copy this. Put on my Asteroid script. And paste it there. Alright, so let me see if it's correct. Blah, blah, blah. Good to go. Alright, so everything looks good. Now, the only thing we're going to have to do is input those numbers like we did before. And because this is a larger object, we're going to have to take a look. I like to use this screen. Remember, guys, we need to be... Let me let this update real quick because I got to hit a few buttons. So remember, I like to be in full HD, okay, when you guys do this, and make sure your camera size is at 10 for right now. All right. So this is a distraction, so clear that out. All right. So now I need to input some numbers. My screen bottom, my screen top. So let's go ahead and go back to our scene tab. Use the move tool. So I want it. My Y is going to be, I'm just going to go with 12, okay? Positive 12 and negative 12 on my Y. That's my top and bottom. Top is positive and bottom is negative, okay? And my right side, all the way to the right, just when it leaves, is I'm going to go with 20, okay? 20. So, negative 15. I'm sorry, 12. Positive 12. Screen right is positive 20. And screen left is going to be negative 20. Okay? So, save it. And let's take a look and see if it actually does what it needs to do as far as screen wrapping goes. Okay? So there it is going out and comes back in. All right. It's going to go out fully. Pop back in. Still out. Oh, is my number off? I didn't think so. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me see what's going on with that. I might go with 19.5. I don't know. 20 sounds too much. 19.5. Negative 19.5. Okay. What about my 12? Was that too much? 11.7. I guess I'll try that. 11.7. Okay. And that's a negative. Okay. I'm going to try these numbers. All right. And see how that looks. All right. So let's throw him back over here. Still looking good. Okay. Let's hit play. That's a little bit better. Yeah, it's better. A little bit better. Okay. So we're going to go with those numbers for right now. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and apply that to the prefab. So anytime you're working on something up here in the hierarchy, it doesn't necessarily occur in the prefab. So you're going to have to hit this override button right here and hit apply all. And now your prefab that you created, your large asteroid, should have everything that you just threw in there. If you notice, the medium and the small do not have that. So let's go ahead and do that right now. We're going to go ahead and add the components. Physics 2D, rigid body. What's the first thing we got to take off? Gravity. And then we're going to go ahead and add that script that we just created. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We need a polygon collider because this is a little bit on the weird shape. So we're going to go with a polygon. Okay, so now it has a polygon. We're not going to make it a trigger yet. Okay, and let's go ahead and add the script that we just made. Asteroid script right there. And we're going to have to add numbers, and we can add those numbers later. Okay, next one's a small one. Let's go ahead and throw the rigid body, change the scale to 0. I'm sorry, gravity to 0. Add a polygon collider. Okay, and then we add the script. And again, these numbers, what we can do is throw the rigid body in there for now. All right. All right, and if you want, we can go ahead and figure out these numbers now, but we're going to have to throw a small and medium in there. So medium, when it goes out, it's going to be 11, 10.9. So we'll say 10.9, 11. And right side is a 19.2. So screen bottom, always negative, 11. Screen top, positive 11. Right side, we set 19.2, so that's positive and negative 19. Okay. All right, and that's for the medium one. And the smaller they are, the more number you probably want to throw. So I'm just going to use the same numbers I did for the asteroid. So I'm going to go with 200, and I'm going to go with 300. Okay. And we'll take a look here in a second how it looks. And I'm going to grab my small one, take a look at that. Screen bottom is negative 10.4. So screen bottom 10.4, negative, and positive 10.4. And right side is 18.3. And we're going to go with 18.3 and negative 18.3. All right, let's go ahead and bring him back in. Let's take a look. Oh, let's add some numbers for the for this guy. I'm just going to go straight up 100 for him. He is a smaller object. We don't want him spinning too fast, okay? Again, you can play with those numbers later. Hit play. They should all rotate, and they should all screen wrap. There we go. Looking good, looking good. All right. Everything looks good. Awesome. All right, folks. So this is the asteroid movement. We've added rotation and torque, and we applied that to all three asteroids. Okay. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and have it react to the player one, either by bouncing off of it or getting destroyed by the laser. All right, and that'll be next video. That is adding collision. Okay. All right. Talk to you later. Bye bye.